Hey crafty friends, I'm Rick. I'm back with another video today. Today we are going to tackle using some Dollar Tree stamps to make a card. So, let's get into it. I went to Dollar Tree a couple times, picked out some stamps every time I go. And I still haven't tried them out until today. So these are the few that I have picked out to make on a card or to use on a card. I ended up not using the sentiment set, but I decided to go ahead and start out with a background panel. And I'm just using salvage patina and I think it's Mermaid Lagoon along with, see, I think I wrote this down, apparently not. Anyway, we're just going to ink blend. I chose a couple, salvage patina and Mermaid Lagoon. I'm going to ink blend the background. And let me double check my colors while we're doing that. We're just using two different, going over them at the time. Let's see. Salvage patina and peacock feathers. I'm so sorry about that. So we will ink blend those down from the top going down. And then I've chose two different greens. It is mowed lawn and evergreen bough is what I picked to do that. So I'm just adding in those colors at the bottom. I'm not going all the way up just a little bit. I just want to add a little bit of color to the paper. And I'm also going to pull in walnut stain and vintage photo as well and add a little bit of color. So I'm just going to do that. And as I make note of my colors that I forgot. So we're setting those to the side. Now, I've seen mixed videos about Dollar Tree stamps, and I can tell you they're probably going to be hit and miss on how good they are. Like, I'm going to test it out here on just the back side of a piece of cardstock. And to see, I did use the VersaFine Clair inks for the stamping. This one I'm going to use black, but I'm going to end up using Fallen Leaf for my card because I wanted more of a distressed feel. So it doesn't stamp all the way in places, but then when I used it again, it stamped fine. So I don't know if it just needs more time to get seasoned. They are acrylic. They're not photopolymer. They're not the best acrylic stamps, but they're not the worst. Now this one stamped really good the first time, so I don't know if it was just me or what. So, and again, like I was saying, I have seen videos where people were using them and got mixed results, so take it with a grain of salt. You just have to try them for $1.25 and see how they do. Now, I picked out there was this little scripty background stamp in that one stamp set that I picked. And I'm just going to stamp it down around the card since I wanted a very distressed feel. So I'm just going to stamp it down around just to add some texture in the background as well. It's not my main image. I just wanted it for a little bit of texture. I'm going to use it again eventually in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and start stamping in my flowers. And this is where it stamped pretty well. The only place it didn't stamp well was in that bottom right-hand corner. So I'm wondering if I have something underneath my Misty that's keeping it from getting good contact. Like I did have to do a little bit of pressure there, but it stamped fine. So again, but take them with a grain of salt. I did notice that on the leaf stamp in this set, it's not cut out perfectly. So be aware of that if you try it. All I can tell you is try. I don't know. It looks like they had a double stamp on there, and it didn't cut all the way. I'll point that out again in a minute when we get to the leaves. But see, I'm having troubles getting that to stamp. I don't know if it's just me right there, but it worked out fine, so no biggie. I'm going to add in a third flower right here on the other side. And just kind of off the page. They didn't stamp terrible. Charles liked the card. But, he's biased, so. But anyway, I stamped that down. And then I'm going to come in with my little leaves. And I am going to stamp these. Some of them I use the positioner. Some of them I just use a block. Now, I didn't notice this to begin with. But you can see it in the video. Right next to that big leaf, you can see, though, there's little triangles. They're part of another stamp. So either this image was supposed to continue on a little bit and they cut it weird, or that was part of another stamp that got cut weird. So I don't know. I mean, what do you expect for $1.25? That's all I'm going to say. So, I mean, I wasn't mad at it about the card. I thought it did really well. I was kind of surprised. I was expecting the biggest crap ever, but I was surprised. It worked out great. I don't know. Like I was saying, though, I have seen videos where people were having problems stamping, and I don't know if it was just because I prepped the paper and it was a more seasoned or what. But I did go in this with no expectations whatsoever. And I was kind of surprised with how well I liked the card. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and continue on. I pulled in that hummingbird from the bird set. And I'm just going to stamp. I was going to stamp it first, but then I decided to pull in the sentiment from that set that says enjoy life. And stamp that first. Now, I did look on their website. And they have some of these. They have the stamps. But for certain one of them, certain sets, like this set right here and one of the other ones, you had to buy 36 of the stamps to even get it. So my advice would be go check your local store. And if you're like mine, there's no telling if they have them or not. You can check your store on the website, but I don't think some of those are right. Because it said that there was one set that they didn't have, and I had went to the store and looked at something else, and it was actually there. So I don't take that with a grain of salt. But I would say I would not pay $36 for any of these. And if I could pick them up at a store, yeah, I'd give them a try and just see how well they did. But again, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, they're going to be hit and miss. So, but I mean, it worked out great. I made a card, so that's all that matters. Now I'm going to go ahead and I've got everything stamped out. I'm going to cut this down to about 3 3/4 by 5. Is that what I cut it down to? Or was it 4 by 5 1/4? Let's just measure. It is 4 by 5 1/4. So I cut that down. I'm going to clean off my edges of my layer that I'm going to use for my mat. I'm just curing that down to 4 by 5 1/4 because it was slightly bigger. It was a scrap piece. And by God, we're going to use it anyway. Because we're going to make our own pattern or mat layer. And I'm just going to take and add some Distress ink to the back of that. I guess I'm going to add some more distressing to the card first. So I came in with some walnut stain and vintage photo, and I'm adding in around the edges. I'm going to come back and do that again and shortly because I'm going to distress the edges in a minute. Because I went full-blown distress on this card. I don't know. I was channeling something. I don't know. But I was having fun, I guess. So I'm going to come in with my paper. This is the walnut stain. I'm going to come around the edge, and I'm just ink blending that. Now, remember, any other normal ink, you could just swipe it across. Distress ink does not really do that very well swiping. So I just chose to go ahead and ink blend the edges and get a distressed brown matte layer. It worked out great. I loved it. And it was easy to do. So, I mean, you could take that, do what you want. Do you, boo-boo. Cut a piece of cardstock. I was being lazy. I was going to use this piece no matter what because I was being cheap. And since this was a cheap card, why not? So, we're going to go ahead and attach. I'm going to distress my edges. I have been looking for the Tim Holtz Distress Tool, and they are not easy to come by. I could have sworn I had one somewhere, but I cannot find it. So I'm just brought out my scissors and using my scissors to distress the edges. Be super careful if you try this at home because don't cut yourself. I may or may not have cut myself. Who knows? I don't think I did on this particular card, but I did on another card and sliced my hand. So be careful. I'm just running the edge of the scissors along the edge of the card just to distress it up. That's why I know I have one of those little distressing tools somewhere. I just can't find it, so I was going to buy another one. They're not easy to come by anymore. So there's that. Now, I've got that distressed up on all sides. Or, well, almost. We're going to distress it a little bit more on that side over there. It needed a little bit more rougher. You can tear your paper, so be super careful how you hold your scissors. That's another thing. Now I'm just going to come in with the ink left on the brush and probably add a little bit more and come right over that white of that paper so it's just not so stark white. That kind of drives me nuts, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now I've got everything distressed and ready to go. I'm going to take some twine. This is the May Art ivory twine. I think it's either the ivory or the burlap. I can never remember which ones I have. Anyway, I just wrapped that around a couple times. It's a big old spool. I got it from Simon Says Stamp. I love it. It's like my favorite twine ever. It's easy to use. So we're going to take and wrap that around a couple times and tie a bow on that on the front. Just to add a little bit of texture to our distressed looking card. And I'm going to pull those bows and make them even. And then I can cut off the excess using my scissors after I move them where I want them to be. And we will snip those off. Shorten those little hair, give it a little haircut. And then I'm going to take 1mm foam tape from scrapbook.com. This is the 1 inch roll, or 1 inch size. It's 1 inch by 1mm. You get a suit a lot on there. It's like, I think it's like 30 something feet. I can't remember. Anyway, I've cut that, put 2 of the regular size pieces right there, cut the rest of it down to put at the bottom. And I'm going to cut one more piece right down along the bottom. And I'm leaving that gap where the twine is so that it doesn't have a big bulky spot. So we're going to peel those backings off. And I will stick those in my little trash bowl. And pull that one off and that one off. And I think I add liquid glue behind here because I can't imagine not doing it. Yeah, see? So we're just going to add that on. And we're going to take and lay that onto our matte layer. And then it's a solid card front layer. So we're going to take and add that on. I did not stop like just there. I had to pull in my colored pencils. Actually, I'm going to pull in my card base. You can see there's all those stamping tests we did. No one will ever know. And we will just pop that on our A2 top folding card base. Make sure it's nice and lined up. Sorry, I got off the camera there for a second. Now, I wanted a little bit more. So I'm going to come in first. I added some white gel pen highlights to our little hummingbird. And I think I added some around the flowers as well. I cannot remember now. I made this the other day thinking I wanted to try these cards out, or stamps out. So we're just going to add some white gel pen highlights. But no, Rick does not stop there. No. We've got to add a little bit more. Because if a little is good, a lot is better. So we're just adding some highlights around our little flowers. I didn't add too much on those because I didn't want them to get too distracting. I am going to add some little white dots with the gel pen and make it look like splatters. And just a little bit along with something else. I'm adding a few more little highlights on the little hummingbird. And it wasn't popping enough for me. So I added some Stardust stickles on the wings because, hummingbird wings are super fast and they're fluttery. They look transparent. So we're going to not really color those. We're just going to add some Stardust stickles to that along with, no, that's not the place I added the Stardust stickles, I think, along the tail as well. So I'm just adding it on that, if I could talk. So we will just press that in. And then as that dried, I decided it still wasn't enough. So we're going to do just some very simple coloring. I'm going to pull in my 120 Crayola colors, color pencils, and I'm just going to add just a little bit of color. I'm going to add a little bit to the beak. I'm just picked one of the yellow oranges, and I just went over that. And then I picked out a couple of green shades and a couple of red shades. I'm going to add just a little bit of coloring to his belly. I didn't press super hard. I'm doing very light coloring because I didn't want it to get distracted from the distressing of the card. I kept it super soft color-wise. I didn't do a lot of pressure. So I wanted to keep it, like I said, I didn't want it to not blend in, but stand out a little bit, but not overpower everything. So that's why I did that. And I just came in with 3 different shades of the green, added a little bit of shadow color to the green parts of what I'm going to call the green parts of the body of the hummingbird. I added some on his head and around his little wings. At the base of the wings, that was about it. Just added a little bit of color. And then I came in with a slightly darker color, layering all the colors. No, again, not pressing super hard, but it showed up perfect. So it just gave it that little bit extra that the card needed. Sometimes you don't need too much. Now, we're going to move those out of the way. I started to add some to the flowers, but then I was like, no, I don't want to do that. So I moved that out of the way. I'm going to add some white dots around just to add like little flicks. I'm using the lazy way and just using my gel pen. So you can always do that with a gel pen. You don't have to get out the splatters and splatter everything. You can just do some little dots here and there with the gel pen. It'll be okay. No one will ever know. Besides, they're very uniform. Anyway, so now I'm going to take and add some shimmer to the card. I'm going to take some of the shaker mix, clear sequin shaker mix from Paper Rose. And I'm going to add some along the sentiment and the little hummingbird. I added 2 at the top of the sentiment, 2 around the bottom, and some more around the little hummingbird. All in all, we have an odd number. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 little clear droplets that you cannot see once they are, well, you can see them. You just can't see the glue behind them because they are super clear, crystal clear. That's why I love them. They just have that great little dewdrop effect. And we're just added those on, and I'm going to make sure I don't need any more anywhere else. So we're going to add a few more. I'm going to add 3 right here. And there's another one somewhere that I added. Because I can't leave well enough alone. So we're going to add those last 4 because we had an even number. Can't have an even number. Got to have an odd. I got to follow the art rules, y'all. Got to have those odd visual triangles, odd numbers. So we're going to add those in. I added just a couple more because I needed one more. So I'm trying to get just one out. Not so easy just to get one out. So I'm going to add that last one right in here. Somewhere right there. I was trying to decide where I wanted it. And then I popped up a nice big one right there. And it just looks like it has that diagonal line that draws your eye down. And as is all, here is we're going to do the inside of the card. I'm just going to take that leaf stamp and put a scratch piece of paper under the card base. And I'm going to stamp that in just the Toffee Crunch ink. After we clean off our little stamp here, I thought I cut that out. Apparently I did not. So we're just going to stamp in a few leaves on the edge of our card. I'm going to go up the right-hand side, just stamp it on the scratch piece of paper on the inside, just a couple times. And then I took that Scripty stamped again, and I'm going to stamp that in there as well a couple times. And we have our inside of our card. It's nice and distressed as well. And apparently Rick couldn't start with the stamping off, so we had to stamp a couple more times. So we're going to add a little bit more, and I think we call it quits. And then here is the look at the outside of the card. As Rick cleans everything up, there's a look at the outside. Here's a look at the inside again, and I will see you in the next video. There's a closer look at the card. You're probably going to like the one coming up right there. Stay crafty. Love you guys. Stay crafty. Bye.